Here we go.
Good morning. This is like deja vu. I feel like I just did this. My name is Mary Ann Akers. I am your trustee on duty this morning. On behalf of Reverend Donna Maurer and the Board of, does that say that? Board of Trustees and our crack practitioner team, I am privileged to welcome you here at the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living. You know, some days are just like this. Roll with me. Wherever you are and whoever you are, whoever and wherever on the spiritual path, you are truly welcome here. Here you will be validated and supported and encouraged to be everything that you are meant to be. Our vision statement is love in action. We express this love by learning and living the principles of the science of mind. On the back of your programs, you will find our Declaration of Principles. Please join me now in reading them. I believe there is an infinite intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe this intelligent power is only good. I believe this intelligence expresses as me. I believe through my conscious use of this power, I create my life as happy, healthy, and complete. And so it is. Do we have any first-timers? Second-timers? Regulars? Yes. Thank you for coming. I would like to thank all of the people that make our Sunday mornings smooth, gracious, special, yummy-filled, and exactly as you would expect when you walk through the Sonoran Desert Center for Spiritual Living doors. Thank all of you so much who do much more than we could ever even imagine, we on the outside of the inside. Okay, direct your attention to the bulletin. If you're watching online, please visit cslaz.org for our announcements and events calendar. But for the
The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. The God in me beholds the God in you. It is all for our greatest and highest good. The God in me beholds the God in you, and you and I are one. Namaste. Namaste.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to see you all. This is Peter and I, our last Sunday, and we just want to say we're going to miss you all. We're going to Alaska till September. So I'm going to light the candle, representing the light that keeps us going, the light that is everywhere. And I want to let you know today is Miraculous Moments. So if you'd like a prayer after service, those of us that have our stole on, Louise included, you can come to us. Okay, so for our invocation, we're thankful each and every one of you found your way here this morning to share this Sunday celebration and for the opportunity to hear Reverend Donna's message and the music of Heather O'Day. Serenity has its roots in willingness to approach the simple reality of our lives with a wholehearted attention. Bringing absolute attention to this moment awakens a sense of reverence and profound sensitivity. We learn to see, listen, touch, speak, and act in a loving way. Everything in this world, inwardly and outwardly, comes alive in the light of mixed attention. It is when we bring loving attention to even the most inconsequential events in our life that we truly start to live. And together we say, and so it is. I wrote a little something at our writers group and was encouraged to share. So, symbol. There is a golden 2-layer symbol on the podium where I go each Sunday for my spiritual hunger. It is front and center, just a circle divided into 3 sections with a big V moving through it all, top to bottom. This symbol represents the most important part of my life, my spiritual home. Within this home, all my needs are met. When I stay in alignment with the spiritual principles and practices of this teaching, I am happy, joyous, and free. So the outer circle represents divine source, God, or whatever name you choose. I love that we can use whatever name fits our needs. So everything else is an explanation of the movement within divine source. There are 3 elements or sections best defined as the seed, the soil, and the plant. We plant the seed into the soil and the plant grows. There are many more descriptives for these sections. However, I'm choosing to keep it simple. The V denotes movement. There is a descent into form and an ascent into spirit. One source encompasses the threefold way, which creates movement. The teaching symbol says so much, yet it's all depicted in one small circle. What is, I keep forgetting. Oh yeah, inner landscape is Donna's topic, but the overall theme for April is good to great to grand, and so the inner landscape. So I chose to share today about self-actualization. Some of us must remember Maslow's hierarchy of innate human needs. It's arranged in priority order and is presented in pyramid form. Self-actualization is at the top, under self-fulfillment needs, and comes into play once basic physiological needs are met. Self-actualization is the full growth of one's capacities and enjoyment of life, and the full realization of one's potential. Let's look at some traits of the self-actualized person and see if we can recognize ourselves. We practice acceptance. We accept ourselves and others as we are and have no expectations for how people should be otherwise. We are authentic and true. We have a deep understanding of our beliefs and values, and we live in congruence with them. We possess a strong sense of realism. We appear to have good judgment or good instincts for the typical person and can also identify lies, fakes, and discrepancies because we can evaluate the world logically and reasonably. We live in the here and now, accepting and based on reality. We still have aspirations, yet we do not prioritize the future over the present. We are autonomous and independent. Self-actualized individuals are very independent and do not follow societal conventions. We are not dependent on other people, the outside world, or other things to be happy. Our fulfillment comes from personal expansion. We have excellent moral intuition. When we have achieved self-actualization, we do not let society or culture shape who we are. We adopt what we perceive as good, and we reject what we perceive as bad. We seek growth and development. We draw happiness from personal growth and are motivated to develop our potential, also use it to aid others. We are problem-solving humanitarians. Self-actualized people have a clear sense of purpose and want to leave the world in a better state than they found it. We embrace the unknown. We understand that to grow as a person, we have to step beyond our comfort zone and into the unknown. We are unconventional and spontaneous. Being unafraid of the unknown, we have no trouble acting independently. We have a thoughtful sense of humor. We have a profound and perceptive sense of humor. We could even make fun of ourselves, yet refrain from making jokes about others' misfortunes. We understand the power of mindset. Choosing to see things for our benefit, no matter how negative it may seem, helps us to self-actualize more easily. We never stop questioning our learning. I think Ernest Holmes was self-actualized, as he stated that as science of mind, we are open at the top. There you have it. Those characteristics provide a roadmap for becoming more self-actualized. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination. We can learn to accept ourselves and the people around us, be more impulsive and unusual, and be present in our life. We can work to embrace the unknown, discover our life's mission, and broaden our humanitarian outlook. As I put this together, I found many similarities between a self-actualized person and a science of mind follower. Did you hear that too? Thank you. Namaste. I take the candle, hold the high watch, await for your prayer request, and come and get one in person today.
So I also chose a song about self-actualization. This is a song that I wrote in 2019 based on a poem by Juan Ramon Jimenez called I Am Not I, or Yo No Soy Yo. I am the one who stands beside me that I cannot see. I am the one who I can visit when I forget to be. I am the one who listens quietly when I need to talk. I am the one who leads the way when I'm afraid to walk. I am the one who forgives gently if I move into fear, and the one who remains standing when the body dies. Yo soy el que está a mi lado, que no puedo ver. Soy a quien puedo visitar cuando me olvide de ser. Yo soy el que escucha en silencio cuando necesito hablar. Yo lidero el camino cuando no puedo caminar. Yo soy el que perdona cuando tengo miedo y me quedo de pie cuando muere el cuerpo. I am the one who stands beside me that I cannot see. I am the one who I can visit when I forget to be. I am the one who listens quietly when I need to talk, and the one who leads the way when I'm afraid to walk. I am the one who forgives gently if I move into fear, and the one who remains standing when the body dies. Y me quedo de pie cuando muere el cuerpo. Thank you. Namaste.
Good morning. I want to introduce you to Sean Ricks, front row right here in the blue shirt. He's from California, and he has his own church there. I mean, he's a member of his own church. But several years ago, he was kind of going back and forth, and he found us. And so he spent several years coming back from spending a few months, and he's responsible for all of our shades. So, yeah. So I just wanted you to get to know him. Lovely, lovely gentleman, and a big help to our center. Thank you. Feels good. As Melinda said, we've got a brand new theme for the month of May. And I'm using the material from the Field Ministers. I know I don't do it very often, but I think I can make this work. And as Melinda said, it's from good to great to grand. That's our theme for the month, from good to great to grand. And most of us have been on a spiritual path for some time.
whether it's through our teaching or whether we have gone through other practices that help us evolve, that help us see ourselves as connected to each other, as part of something greater than just, I think Ernest Holmes said, just from our head to our bootstraps. There's a lot more involved than just that. And if we look back, we can kind of see how far we've come. I still remember walking into Founders Church on a Wednesday night, and I was home. I felt like the whole place surrounded me in love, and I was home. I found a philosophy that I could believe in and something that I could grow from good to great to grand. And I've never changed my mind about that. So this week our topic, as Melinda said, is our inner landscape. And the field ministers gave us 3 topics to take a look at. And they are observation, curiosity, and discovery. And those are the essential elements to self-actualization. Melinda did such a great job about discussing what self-actualization is, but these are the 3 steps that start the whole process. So it's through observation, especially of our inner reactions, that help us to see whether we're coming from love or from ego. Curiosity fuels our desire to explore and ask questions, and that leads us to discover new aspects of ourselves. When we are able to fully embrace the process, we create space for our continued evolution and a deeper understanding of the infinite possibilities that exist within us. So we're going to begin with observation. Observation is the ability to pay a lot of attention to things or people and to notice more about them than most people do. Poet R.D. Laing says, "The range of what we see and do is limited by what we fail to notice. And because we fail to notice that we fail to notice, there is little we can do to change until we notice how failing to notice shapes our thoughts and deeds." Isn't that wonderful? Because we go through with a cloud, we don't see what's in front of us often, In 1921, Lewis Laws became the warden at Sing Sing prison. No prison was tougher than Sing Sing during that time. But when Warden Laws retired some 20 years later, that prison had become a humanitarian institution. Those who studied the system said credit for the change belonged to Laws. But when he was asked about the transformation, what he said was, "I owe it all to my wonderful wife, Catherine, who is buried outside the prison walls." Catherine Laws was a young mother with 3 small children when her husband became the warden. Everybody warned her from the beginning that she should never set foot inside the prison walls, but that didn't stop Catherine. When the first prison basketball game was held, she walked into the gym with her 3 beautiful children, and she sat in the stands with the inmates. Her attitude was, "My husband and I are going to take care of these men, and I believe that they will take care of me. I don't have to worry." And so she insisted on getting acquainted with them and their records. And she discovered that one convicted murderer was blind. So she paid him a visit. Holding his hand in hers, she said, "Do you read Braille?" "What's Braille?" he answered. She taught him how to read. And years later, he would weep with love for this woman. And later, Catherine found a deaf mute in prison. She went to school to learn sign language. And many said that Catherine Laws was the body of Jesus that came alive again in Sing Sing from 1921 to 1937. Then she was killed in a car accident. The next morning, Lewis Laws didn't come to work so the acting warden took his place. It seemed almost instantly that the prison knew something was wrong. The following day, her body was resting in a casket in her home, 3/4 of a mile from the prison. As the acting warden took his early morning walk, he was shocked to see a large crowd of the toughest, hardest-looking criminals gathered like a herd of animals at the main gate. He came closer and noted tears of grief and sadness, and he knew how much they loved Catherine. He turned and faced the men. "All right, men, you can go. Just be sure and check in tonight." Then he opened the gate, and a parade of criminals walked without a guard the 3/4 of a mile to stand in line to pay their final respects to Catherine Laws. And every one of them checked back in. Every single one. Catherine Laws paid attention to the people in her care. It was through her observation of each inmate that she was able to give a bit of herself to them. And in doing so, she changed their lives. We often come to a situation with preconceived ideas that color our ability to see with clear eyes. Catherine Laws could have easily believed the reputation of Sing Sing and its inmates, but she chose to see with deeper eyes. And there's another story that just came across. I take a little inspiration thing from Alan Cohen, and it just came across this morning, so I wanted to use it. And he says, "A while back, I presented a retreat at a center on a small island off the coast of Vancouver, British Columbia. The only facility was a rustic YMCA-style camp. The only resident, a caretaker named Dave. As our program got going, Dave made constant trips through our meetings in progress. At first, we thought there was some logical emergency that he had to take care of, but there was none. He kept walking in and out of the meeting room at sensitive times when participants were sharing intimate material about their lives. We didn't find it appropriate that Dave remained during these moments, so we politely asked him to please not enter the meeting room during the program. Still, Dave insisted on walking into our meetings. So we decided there must be some reason for his adamant attendance, and we invited him to join us. At the first opportunity, Dave revealed that shortly before that time, his wife and young daughter had tragically perished in a car crash. He took the job at this solitary outpost to heal. And when he realized that our group was about healing, he wanted to be a part of it. The group members had compassion for Dave and embraced him with love and support, which he gratefully received. And from that point on, he became a part of the group and attended all of the sessions. Over the course of the week, Dave became lighter and lighter and released a significant amount of grief that he had been carrying. And by the end of the week, he was shining. Alan Cohen says, "I'll always remember the final day of the retreat when we took a small boat back to the mainland. As our craft headed away from the dock, Dave stood at the edge of the pier, smiling and waving goodbye to us. As we made our way further and further out into the bay, he remained, his image getting smaller and smaller in our field of vision until we could see him no more. I sometimes wonder if Dave is still standing there waving." Dave's apparently disruptive behavior was really a call for love. A Course in Miracles tells us that every human act is either a pure expression of love or it is a call for love. And we should interpret all negative or aberrant behaviors as pleas for love. Rather than answer disruptions with punishment or retaliation, we do better to give the love requested. That is the only way that human sorrow and dark expressions are healed. And that applies to you and me as well. Through spiritual observation, we can begin to love ourselves in spite of our foolish mistakes. We can drop the club we've been beating ourselves with and see our improper behavior, our unkindness to someone else, was really coming from our own need for love. Alan Cohen asks, what if all those mistakes were just unskilled ways you were reaching out for love? What if they were not calls for guilt or self-punishment, but more compassion for yourself? Your errors were not sins for which you deserve to be castigated, but innocent requests for healing. So through genuine observation, we can help the healing of others, and we can help our own healing as well. And that leads us to curiosity. Albert Einstein said the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reasons for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when one contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries to comprehend only a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. And Stephen Hawking advised, look up at the stars and not down at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. Here are two of the most outstanding scientists that have ever lived, and they are paying tribute not to the mechanical or scientific way things work, but to the mystery, the awe, the wonder that is all around us in every single aspect of life. A car-sized rover named Curiosity landed on Mars in August of 2012. It was created by the Mars Science Laboratory mission as part of NASA's Mars Exploration Program. Curiosity was designed to assess whether Mars was ever habitable, and it was named by 11-year-old Clara Ma. Clara won the naming contest with her essay. And she says in it, curiosity is an everlasting flame that burns in everyone's mind. It makes me get out of bed in the morning and wonder what surprises life will throw at me this day. Curiosity is such a powerful force. Without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. Curiosity is the passion that drives us through our everyday lives. We have become explorers and scientists with our need to ask questions and to wonder. Sure, there are many risks and dangers, but despite that, we still continue to wonder and dream and create hope. We've discovered so much about the world, but still so little. We will never know everything there is to know, but with our burning curiosity, we have learned so much. Like our scientists, 11-year-old Clara recognizes the value of curiosity. So curiosity grows our awareness, it sparks our imagination, it expands our consciousness, it builds our mental equivalence, and opens us to more of God's good. So curiosity can transform our life, and we should do well to follow Einstein's advice, never lose a holy curiosity. And that leads us to the final quality that leads to self-actualization, which is self-discovery. And when I Googled self-discovery, almost every website offered ways to find your purpose, to set goals, to stay focused so that you can manifest good things. And that's great if you're 20. But what about us? What about us? We've been there, we've done that, and we've bought the t-shirt. We've had a purpose, probably more than one, like raising children, engaging in a satisfying and successful career, gratifying our sense of adventure by traveling or living in other places, being involved in meaningful relationships. If our path of discovery encompasses something different than finding a purpose, goal setting, and focusing, then what is it? In a TED Talk titled The Third Act, Jane Fonda says, There have been many revolutions over the last century, but perhaps none as significant as the longevity revolution. We are living on average today 34 years longer than our great-grandparents did. Think about that. That's an entire second adult lifetime that's been added to our lifespan. You know, I personally think that for the most part, our culture hasn't caught up with this new third act. The 3 extra decades we've been given. We still see our lives as an arc, beginning at birth, rising to a peak in our productive years. There's midlife, and then falling down into what Jane Fonda rather sarcastically calls our decline into decrepitude. However, many people, those we may not consider avant-garde, our philosophers, our artists, our doctors and scientists, are beginning to acknowledge a very different paradigm. Jane Fonda says of these people, they realize that this is actually a developmental stage of life with its own significance. And they are asking, and we should all be asking, how do we use this time? How do we live it successfully? What is the appropriate new metaphor for aging? And this is true of self-discovery. It is to look at purpose and goal with new eyes, not as rising to the top of the success ladder, but as a deepening of our inner wisdom, not from the accumulation of things, but as a release, a letting go of not just the things, but anything that might keep us from our wholeness and our authenticity. Byron Thompson, in his book, Build Your Dream, tells of his first ever bungee jump off the Kairarua Bridge.
I don't remember how to pronounce it.
In New Zealand. And of course he was frightened as he stood at the apex of the bridge. He knew he could bail out. Many others had. But Byron said, it was a choice of either living fully or giving in to my fear. I looked down at the river below and decided that living is more important. I looked out at the horizon as my coach had instructed me, took a deep breath, and dove off head first. At the last second, I felt the elastic band grab, hold, and propel me back up toward the bridge. As I bounced up and down, I yelled, yes! It's a moment I'll carry with me the rest of my life. Self-discovery, at the point we are in our spiritual growth and our physical age, is not so much outer-directed nor goal-oriented. Rather, it's an inner journey that allows us to reach into ourselves, to find our uniqueness and our beauty, and to love ourselves into wholeness. In that way, the story of our life becomes the text from which we teach and the legacy we leave to those whose lives we touch. Thank you. Namaste.
Our song for today is You'll Never Walk Alone. Let's stand if you are willing and able. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of the walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, Yeah, please give yourselves a hand. That was lovely.
Thank you. And it's time for our offering. This is a chance to put that law of divine flow in process. So won't you join me in our offering affirmation? My gift goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless all that it touches. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I share generously of my good, knowing that it returns to me, multiply abundantly. And so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so
Thank you, sweetheart. And thank you, everybody, for your for keeping us here. If you weren't out there giving, we wouldn't be up here giving. So, so thank you so very much. So let's just close this portion out in prayer, and please join us for refreshments, and just be grateful that we have this beautiful center. I sure am. Okay, so we just take a moment to know that there is one mind. It's the mind of God. It's the mind that we use. There is one life. It's the life of God that animates all things, including you and me. There is one divine intelligence that flows through each and every one of us. And when we are open and receptive, that wisdom guides us in all that we do. And we know, too, that there are areas in people's individual lives and collective lives that are less than perfect. And so we send our love to those people and to those areas to know that right where they are, God is. And while we may not see a solution, God does. And so we turn to that and know that that's the real truth. Again, I give thanks for being a part of this spiritual family, and just to know that all is good and very good, as we say together, and so it is.
So let there be peace. I am a stand for peace. Let there be love. I am a stand for love. Let there